you have a hard stop, or what?
Good. My rest of my day just opened up.
Is
So
is that called unemployment?
yeah,
It's like,
close.
fuck, dude. Yeah, dude, that report you sent over on Anthropic, I don't know, man. Like, did I read it right? I mean, so it's all synthetic data in the sense of like it's extrapolating based on the potential impact based on usage essentially currently. And so then they look at all the job like sectors and like what could be automated, like what makes up that quote unquote job, all the skills and things you have to do. And then they say, okay, how much of that could be automated? And then they looked at what the actual usage by the telemetry or kind of like demographic data they have today based, I guess, classification of tasks and asks, and then they back into it. Is that kind of how they did it?
Yeah, and I think the red. So there was like the red blip, and I think that's where there's been like slow or no growth in hiring, and so yeah, I think what you just articulated is 100% correct. But like the strike zone, it was we know like it's everybody sort of forecasted as like engineering and then knowledge work, our knowledge workers like finance and business, which is scary. So I guess we need to go set up our plumbing and HVAC duties.
Seriously, bro. So I'm just pulling this up so people can see it. This is what we're talking about. So you got all the different job functions, and the blue is potential impact. That's so fun. Management. Like, what does that mean theoretically? AI coverage. It looks like it's in 90%. I don't know what that says about management, but hey, business finance. So I guess my whole problem here in general, and not that I'm not afraid of like job loss, but it's just it just assumes a static pie, right? Like there's no reaction, there's no incremental job creation. It's only like these are the jobs that will only exist for forever, and then we're gonna automate them, and then now there's no more jobs. And it's like that's never happened in any like technological innovation. It's like some jobs do get created, but then there's, it's like SAP didn't exist 30 years ago, right? Like he's back into now there's a whole enterprise sales market of software and people implementing this shit and all this stuff. Yeah. So I digress, but I mean, take it with a grain of salt, I guess, but it is on paper scary.
Yeah. I mean, on that same note, though, like your example of like SAP didn't exist 30 years ago. I mean, fast forward 30 years, it'll be like AI didn't exist 30 years ago. Like now, look, there's no jobs. I saw an interesting one. I don't have it at my fingertips, but it was, I had looked at the banking industry, specifically like Chase and a few of the other ones like Goldman, and it had done like their 2025 or like it was 2024 head count 25 and then like current date, the year to date 26. And that had has shown incremental like decrease in headcount. And then it also had analyzed like the job openings or job postings from that sector in those companies. And those have basically significantly like decreased. So in the sense of like, I think they were larger than 50% decrease in like those openings or listings. So not only has the headcount decreased, the actual openings, like open recs, are significantly lower than the decrease of, the people in those positions. So
When
that's a little terrifying.
what data was that from?
It was on banking. So they were like
Oh,
taking
okay.
like JP Morgan and institutions. It was like JP Morgan, Goldman, BlackRock. So I was looking at some of those like bigger players, and there's a lot of like the memes going around where like, oh, you're not going to need junior analysts, or like your IB bros, so investment banker bros aren't going to be needed. It's not to say that it's the AI that's doing this, or maybe it's just the efficiency, or maybe like we've all said that during COVID there was like the glut of hiring, and so things are just a combination of it all, right?
Yeah, the whole over iron of the pandemic and then paring back, and it is interesting. I mean, everybody's heard the analogies to the ATM was supposed to kill tellers, and now banking's up, right? In terms of employment, there's more tellers now than there were before ATM. So it's so I've been wrestling with this on the front of okay, so if the AI coding is the killer use case right now, and anything that's language based is pretty easy for it to go after. But I mean, is it really going to kill the? I mean, the software engineer as we know it, I think will definitely go away. But as I've experienced firsthand, just because I can vibe code doesn't mean Claude can create the app that I want because I don't ask it the right questions. And so like I can't even kind of finish some of my ideas. I know the models get better, but then I've also been talking to my buddy who built the back off system, run his business, and it's pretty clear. Like he's like, dude, it's like I'm just acquiring technical debt, and Claude's like trying new ways to fix it. And I set up this whole system to check the memory and the data vector database, and then it just ignores that. And he said he bought 5 Claude Max subscriptions this month. I don't know why it makes me laugh so much. So he's just like fucking going like to town, and all I have this image of is, you're in quicksand or mud in your truck, and you're just spinning your wheels. And it's like, oh, if I could just go faster, I'll be able to get out. It's just like, dude, you're so fucked. And is it so? Anyways, so then jump to the other side. So it's like, if the cost and the complexity of doing this is so low, I think there's going to be more diffusion, right? So there's going to be more diffusion. We're already seeing it. So like all the tools like Kiro being used by GTM people or marketing people, or Claude Code being used by those same people. And so like the bar to do it. So now everyone, just like, after the PC revolution, everyone had Excel, and now they can do that. You don't have to have like one, computer brain expert, right? There used to be people called computers, and then the mainframe came out, and then the PC came out. And so there's been this fusion of like everyone can do, quote unquote financial analysis if they wanted to. And so I feel like it's going to be similar in the software engineering. Everyone's going to be a software engineer. But if you think about the best people that are solving the hardest problems are still going to get paid the most. And what I mean by that is there's just not a lot of people that have built these systems or deployed these systems at scale. And so they're still going to be in demand. So I don't know if I'm making sense there. Like, feel free to push back, but like, so I come back to cloud, right? So you can read all the Hadoop, you can read all of the Databricks or Snowflake, or right, best practices, the O'Reillys, but until if your problem is I'm ingesting a petabyte of data a day and I need to parse it and extract it and do it at a price performance that my business is so successful and makes money at, there just aren't a lot of people that have the capital budget to do that. So there's not like many people that can go after that problem. Then there's not many people who have figured out that problem. And so the list just keeps getting shorter of people that are like doing things at scale. And so those people are going to get more money because they're doing the hard shit. I don't know. Does that analogy hold, or you got
No, it
a
does.
rambling?
No, I think you hit it. And I'm actually just trying to pull it up. Somebody had posted something, and along those lines, I'm just trying to find it, how they used, I'm trying to see if I can find it. They're basically saying, like, to your point, like there's going to be the executors and the operators, like, or in the sense of like people who have like can actually put in to, because your example, like I can read all like the books on solution architecting, like, and know all the names and like talk about it, but unless I've actually done hands-on, like somebody who's actually worked at scale on like, chaos engineering, chaos monkeys, like I can't compete.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you sent me the article, how I dropped our production database and now pay 10% more for AWS, where he used Claude Code and kind of just handed over the reins, and it wiped their production database, deleted all backups. Like, holy smokes. Thank goodness, like AWS support apparently like had the snapshot still. It hadn't been like cycled out, and he was able to actually recover. And then that 10% more is for all the guardrails and separating out and backups and like the extra kind of overhead of having more of a safe system. But I mean, I wrote down this thing, how AI took my job and then deleted my database. Like both of those things are not going to happen. Like, you're not going to fucking fire everyone use Claude Code, have it delete the database, and then be fine. Like they can't coexist in this world. You're gonna have to hire the person back to fix the shit you broke. Like, I don't know. It's just, I feel like I'm chasing my tail on this argument, but it's, I think the point is that I'm trying to make is the jobs as we know it will go away. The kind of, becoming the 10x version of yourself is what you need to focus on, because that's how you're going to differentiate.
Yeah, 100%. And I think we've said it before. It's like, and we may be early or maybe we're not, like, but yeah, you should at least be playing and trying to figure out how it applies to your role, because if you're not, somebody else is that's in your role. And so, like, as things start to get automated more, you want to be the person that actually has the experience and, knowledge to be able to participate, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm already seeing it. Like, I was just for fun was like looking at, what, when you see all this like doom and gloom about jobs, it's like, okay, well, what jobs are out there? Because people like Block laid off 4,000 people last week. I was like, okay, so what are those people are definitely like looking at job postings right now. What is out there, right? And so I was just like sort of going through, and it's funny, like it's back to that thing. It's been in cloud and then like in crypto too. That'll be like, nice to haves, 20 years in cloud. Like, there's nobody that's been in cloud for 20 years, like, right? So, but
Yeah.
so it's like
In
nice
the
to have,
job posting. Yeah.
nice to have AI automation, agentic orchestration 4+ years. And it's like, well, maybe that person exists, but no.
No, dude. I mean, I'm dealing, I just, working at Amazon is such an experience, just given it, and specifically AWS, but because of the scale, right? So and just the territories we're in. At the same time, man, as you peel back the layers on whatever aspect of it, whether it's your customer and how political they can be for a small company, how much they spend, the problems, like the challenges internally, it is so fucked. The humans are so messy and retarded. Like, I guess I shouldn't use that. We just do dumb shit on a regular basis and chase our tails and stuff. And I don't see how automating that is going to lead to a better outcome. Just like the shit show at 20x. Like, agents are not going to be solving these problems like that we are introducing. Like, I don't know, man. It's, to me, it's asinine, and maybe that's just my bitterness coming out. But
Yeah. I mean, maybe take the bitterness or what they solve. And you made the analogy of like the ATM, when that came out, they said it was going to get rid of tellers. I don't know if we touched on this. I swear we did, but
it's
self
okay.
checkout.
So,
Self checkout, like you go to a
yeah,
grocery store or Target or wherever, and they have,
everywhere. Why would
right?
I want to talk to a human?
Yeah. Well, so the Target we go to is probably one of the busiest. It's like right on the outskirts of Waikiki. And right after Christmas, they removed all self checkout. There is zero self checkout. The lines are so long now.
No
And
shit. What did they say? Why?
I asked the, lady running the register, I was like, why? And she says, oh, they thought it would be better for the customers. And there are lines on every single floor. It's a 3-story Target with checkouts on every floor. There's 2 exits on every floor, so that's 2, 4, 6 multiple checkout stations that each have like 3 to 4, and there's lines, and it's
Yeah,
terrible. Like,
that
where
sounds
you
awful.
really just
Like,
go in and check out. So it's like I preferred the self checkout, and people were like, "Oh, it'll ruin, people who do checkout." But I don't
I'm
know,
a
maybe it's
Walmart guy. Are you Target guy?
my
My
Target.
wife loves Target. I can't stand dude. Every time I go in Target, there's nobody there. So the fact that you not only are there people in Target, there's fucking lines at Target. Like, I mean, that blows my mind. I think my
I mean,
wife likes Target because there aren't people there versus Walmart is always packed.
yeah. I mean, I
Target.
don't know if Walmart still has a self checkout, but
It
I don't.
does. I mean,
Yeah,
where I am, yeah. But maybe
and
I live in
I
the poor part.
joked. I joked that like maybe Target is trying to save human jobs. And I was like, this is their, you
Bringing
know,
it back.
they're going to automate the executive layer or the like, the corporate layer, but they're going to make sure there's jobs for all those corporate people to go to at the, you can work as Target checkout.
Dude, Target's taking it on the chin, man. I think they're saying all their indicators are just down and to the right. Like they're going the wrong way. But this is gonna turn them around, I guess. This is the new strategy. So
No,
well
but
maybe oh good.
I was just going to say it's they're now like the Luddites. So to your point, like ATMs didn't take over jobs. Maybe the self checkout did, but now they're reverting, and so maybe automation will. It's early.
Yeah. I just it's it's all right. So here's like one observation that will end and go to the next story on like SMBs impact because we were so focused on the enterprise. Occupation, observed exposure. Computer programmers, right? This is the top one. 74.5%. Write, update, and maintain software. I don't know. Maybe I'm at like a dumbass. Like everyone in the fucking world is coding, and we're saying this is the most like there's gonna be no more of these jobs. It's like these both cannot be true. Like everyone vibe codes, essentially a software engineer building their own shit. All software engineer jobs are going away. Dumbest shit I've heard. Like I don't like you can't like what the fuck? What are we doing here? It's like are we just arguing about semantics now? Like oh well they're not real engineers. It's like okay well what the fuck? Like what is the point? I don't get it. What are we doing? This is mental masturbation, like doom and gloom. I don't fuck.
Maybe everybody's just their own. Everybody's just doing their own. I mean, I 100% get what you're saying because if you let an engineer go, they're just not going to go like into the ether and never be heard of again. But they'll go and like spin up their own self project or work on something they wanted to work on. But maybe they now have that 10x ability to do it where they would have needed a team.
Yeah. Well, I also just think when everyone's a software engineer, so the best talent typically wants to work at the best companies, right? Depending on like geography and all that stuff, right? So the best investment bankers want to work at whatever it is, Goldman Sachs or JP Morgan, right? So the best cybersecurity professionals want to work at, like CrowdStrike and Palo Altos. The best engineers want to work at, what is it, Amazon or Google, right? You get the theme here. So but at the same time, so like Target can't hire the best programmers. They don't want to work on it because the problems that probably Target's trying to solve are so different from like whatever is keeping them interested. At least historically, right? I'm totally generalizing, but the point is now you're gonna have this massive diffusion. Now Target can build a lot of the stuff they wanted to build. You can have people. There's a distribution of skill levels on everything, right? And so now you can you're just going to get engineers everywhere. That's my thought. They're like or builders. You can call them whatever you want if you don't like the job because the job's going away. And so I just feel like there's going to be this massive again diffusion into enterprise of essentially software engineers light, and because of all the productivity and leverage, they're going to be doing more shit. I don't know, but you're still going to have the best of the best is going to want to work at the leading labs, right? That's so, and they're going to get paid a premium to do that because they don't want to hire, Google and Amazon don't want to hire mediocre people. They want bar raisers, so they have to pay for them. I don't know. That's my thought. So
Yeah.
beat that
Yeah.
to
No,
death.
I think I mean, but to your point, like now Target that engineer who's frustrated and doesn't have the resources or maybe doesn't have the technical bench to stand something up. Now he can.
Yeah, totally. So we'll just it just feels like the narrative is whipsawing, right? Like we've got two extremes. We've got the doom and gloom, and we've got the ultimate productivity, and depending on what goes viral, then everybody's freaking out. And again, I'm not debating it. So in the terms of like, I don't know the actual answer, but there's definitely going to be job disruption, but we'll see. Well, so why don't we pivot to the story you sent me on the SMB or small medium business side? So that was kind of an interesting, so like if all the jobs that are going to be quote unquote safe are plumbers, electricians, and all of that, they're also not great programmers. So do you want You want to tee it off on what the article talked about?
Yeah. I think, I mean, I sent it because we've actually sort of, that's been like a theme we've talked about, like with your buddy, and just like finding the niche, uh, uh, or nascent like industry that's like, whether, real estate agents or, insurance, local insurance salesmen or tree trimmers, like HVAC, and creating the product that serves them, and so now like being able to like spin up that product with ease, sort of my takeaway of just like, you don't need to focus on the enterprise SaaS.
Yeah. Let me pull this up for everybody. So I thought this was a great visualization of it. So the thesis of the article is essentially, I think this firm, where he did a lot of work for a private equity firm. Private equity always looks for efficiencies and reducing costs, right? They usually do leveraged buyouts. They got to pay that down, so they have to save costs. Apparently, they bought a hairdresser company. I don't know how many locations they have. They went in there, talked to them, and spend 90 minutes on kind of their paper cuts, their pain points, and then automated it all away. And so this visualization is essentially saying there's 33 million small businesses in the U.S. alone, and it's got this like, okay, enterprise is using automation, decent cluster up here on the right, and then in blue, and then small green cluster, and as a percentage of the businesses, it's tiny, right? And so there's all this opportunity to automate, and then he or she threw up kind of like, oh, $500 a month, hair salon partnership, or HVAC service automation, dental practice systems. And I don't know. There's like there's a platform, there's platforms out there that allow you to do this. So like that we talked about, or offline or online. I remember Go High Level. It's basically kind of a CMS, or could be a CMS. Actually, it's more of an automation platform, like a HubSpot, like CRM system, database, and then setting up triggers and flows and text or voice calls and lead nurturing and all this kind of stuff. So I do 100% agree with the revenue. Oh, and look, he generated this with banana. You can see the little Gemini image, the logo down here. But, oh, I'm sharing the wrong thing. All right. But I don't know, man. What I do think it's real, but I don't know. What are your thoughts, man?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's real and valid and actionable. I mean, cause we've chatted about it. And I mean, I have a buddy who's runs a dental practice, and, he was like, he knows it's coming, and he's like, well, as soon as the like software that does XYZ, if I could get my hands on it, which I think there's a few out there that are better than what we use, you know, that will help us tremendously. On the flip side of that, I asked him, well, like how will that help your headcount? And he was like, well, probably scale down from, the 5 front office I have to 2,
Hmm.
because, and this is like what he's envisioning, if the right tools exist. And I think they do, just because like working at like AWS, there was like already like, Amazon Connect and that, but he's wanting more like purpose built for, running dental, you know? And so I know
Yeah.
that this, or if not, there's teams out there that are building like the full, like subject matter, running a dental office platform.
Yeah. I think it'll be interesting to happen. Like cause my buddy, like I said earlier, he was gung ho and he's still chipping away at it, but he's like, dude, I am the bottleneck. Like I'm not designing or don't understand enough. Now I told him, and I'll say the same thing here. I was like, if you just keep building, dude, just imagine where you're going to be in 12 months. Like that one guy that won the Anthropic, there's one of those. I don't know if it was the building permit thing where they interviewed the mayor or somebody else, but he's been doing this for just 12 months. And like, dude, just you're going to pick up so much about systems architecture and systems design and GitHub, and you're not going to have to get bogged down and have the cognitive burden of it all. But so like it's keep doing it. But I guess my point is, it's building the application is almost the easy part. It's maintaining it and then fixing the bugs. That's going to be hard, and that's why people pay for SaaS today, right? Because they want to focus on their core competency of the dental practice. They don't want to build software. Now that paradigm's shifting, but maintaining software is a pain in the ass. So
Yeah. Yeah. And there was another one. Maybe I sent you, or I will send you now that you're here. It's like the service based. So almost like a SaaS. I think I feel like they were making the same example, or what they were proposing was like the service manager. So now that you've built your new, stack, who's going to service it? Who's going to manage it for you?
an agent.
Yeah.
I just
But they were suggesting like that is like one of the next, like maybe that's just like next, budding industries, is you are like an AI service manager. So you'll understand and work with the agents, but help manage these newly formed, applications.
dude. So the one thing that I took out of that article on the SMB side was this Sonata. So N8N, Zapier make they're automation platforms. So I've tried with Gemini and Claude to like, hey, create this, template I can import into make.com or N8N. And it doesn't do a great job. And so this Sonata platform for annual commit, oh, that's monthly, annually 51. Okay. So for pro is $67 a month, right? Now, if you just go to N8N's pricing, their starter's $20 a month, like, and their pros 50. So the AI automation, sorry, I'm jumping around here, is more expensive than the platform, which to me just blows my fucking mind. And, we've talked about this before. It's like, I thought we were supposed to be paying for outcomes already. Like, why am I paying per seat, dude? Like, our monthly, like, cable bill for AI services is like, just keeps going up. And this is another thing I was thinking and talking about. There's so much content, and it's good content to learn how to do this or talk and, and create, the videos on YouTube, the blog articles we're talking about. But I don't see many people solving their like I don't like they're not building a production SaaS for a dental practice and then launching a company on it and then recording that. Like, it's a lot of these like tips and tricks. Oh, that's cool. I could never have done this before, but now I can. But one and done, right? Like I built my own, here's a great example, my own reminder app. I don't use it, but it's cool that I could build it, but I don't fucking use it. So like, where's the incremental value creation there? It's like, we have to actually be delivering some sort of like time savings or incremental GDP per capita for this stuff to work. At least that's all right. So I'll get off my soapbox, man. This just blew my mind. Like,
You know what I just thought of, and to your point, like we're buying these, your buddy buying,
5 Claude Pro
yeah,
Code Max. It's like
and then
$1,000 a month.
yeah, and then what's and that's actually funny because somebody internally posted this. Shoot, let me bring it up real quick. And then you got like,
I'm wondering like what he's gonna spend in Claude Code. Sorry for interview this year, versus just if he just purchased the fucking subscriptions to do what he wants. Like, which
well,
would be cheaper. But all right,
well, and then so I was like, he's spending that, and then Allie, who used to work with both of us, she's like a ML, like thought leader. She
yeah,
posting, so she put a picture up on Twitter, and it was at a open claw meetup in New York, and it was packed. And somebody in my company posted, was like, oh, this feels like the early days of crypto. But what it also feels like is the like, have you ever listened to like Steve Wozniak, the co-founder of Apple? He talks
yeah,
about homebrew computer club they had. And that's essentially how Apple like was born, is it was just a bunch of nerds, and they called it the homebrew club. And they were just curious and building, and like, hey, we want to, we all work for IBM or whatever, and we come home, and on the weekends, we're like building a PC,
yeah.
But anyway, so like, so it goes like, I think it's just everybody's building because we're so fascinated, like nothing yet, but like we're close. Something's going to happen.
Yeah, dude, I agree. Like, I'm not trying to poo-poo it. I think, if you're building some like and learning, then you got to keep going, right? Like, 'cause you're going to improve, and it's going to be amazing what we're able to build. So I'm definitely bullish overall, right?
Yep.
And it's one of the more positive dopamine hits I can think of, right? Because it's so easy and it's so fast, but you're doing something. So that's cool too. But but I still struggle. We talked about this last week. The cognitive barrier. Sometimes I'm just like, oh, I don't want to get into this because I gotta fucking like. It's not that easy. I gotta think of like the design, and then it's like, what are you doing it? Right. So, but yeah, I don't. So that kind of brings me to another thing. Claude skills, right? OpenClaw, like they're all doing something, right? So skills is just kind of like a mini agent or like do this one task over and over again. This is the way I want it done. You can string those together. Is that is that going to be the new ebook or is that the new app store? Cuz like I'm starting to see people be like, "Oh, sign up for our program and then we will give you the Claude skill that lets you run, our framework on your data." It's like this is just a fucking markdown file. Like I don't but it's kind of crazy. It's like, so is that to get leads? Is that going to be like people actually pay for Claude skills you write? Like, cause they are pretty powerful, but or they're just gonna be all open source. I don't know. It's intriguing to me.
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I think that, well, there's like a more even recent example and I see it and I always question who pays for this, but like Notion, the Notion software, we use it. There's like marketplaces for Notion templates.
oh yeah, okay.
And so I'm like, who's lazy enough? I mean, I don't mean to be like rude, but I'm like, you're buying a Notion template. Like you can literally like spend 10 minutes to make it. Like, like for your formatting of whatever, like it's like, oh, business strategy Notion or event planning Notion. But to your point, it's like the skills, it's like, oh, like what? Like, are you gonna sell these? But like, yeah, I think people make small buy like and just using the Notion marketplace is like, oh, I think they monetize and people pay for it. So yeah.
I mean, dude, I am shocked how many people pay for the school subscriptions. And like these people are making, these creators and influencers are making, 40, 50, 100,000 a month in subscription fees as they just, basically like a closed community and people want to learn. Like it's,
Yeah. On that note, like I have an older sister and she's now getting into this and she's in education. She's like a comptroller for a large school district in Denver. But she's getting into this and we were talking and I didn't know. And it was just like randomly came up in a conversation that she was like exploring and doing all this like stuff on the sides and on the weekends with AI. And she's like, well, I just attended this like 3-day conference for AI. And I was like, what?
it's only $800.
No, no, it was right. And it was
Yeah.
all these like like people that are just like not, they're influencers. They're not like,
Well,
they're
they're
really,
they're
I would,
taking you from like like the 20-yard line to like the 50-yard line, So it feels like you move 30 yards, but then they stop and all the hard part is from the 80 to the 100-yard line. Like that's the fucking hard part. But like people have the sensation of making progress. So sorry,
no.
jump in there.
And to your point, and but the upsell at the end of the conference was like, oh, you enjoyed this. Now enroll in our $5,000 course.
Yep.
And I was like, do not do that. Please do not. I was like,
Yeah. Just
I will give you prompts like you have your MBA, you're smart enough, you are an
just
executive, like you can do this without paying this $5,000.
yeah, just talk. Just turn on whisper mode, pay for the whisper, and just start talking to it. Like, just you'll be shocked how much more you'll learn by just doing that. Yeah, dude. That
But yeah, to your point, like there's people out there that are just making money and it's not viable. Like I don't think it's viable or good for community, but like it happens in every industry, right? Like
yeah. I mean, because knowledge is power, right? And these skills, and I'm sure there's really good ones out there, but yeah, it's interesting to see it happen on the B2C side because you can get scale, but it's nothing new. So, well, maybe this is where we wrap up on this last topic, but so the state of GTM, so GTM engineering for 2026, they just produced a report I thought this is kind of relevant for a number of reasons, but if we were thinking about, so this job basically didn't exist. So there's two things on this I think audience would be interested in. One is we've been talking about just the lack of like AI tools for GTM in the unicorn space, right? And so this is on our tool adoption, but then also, we're talking about job loss and job creation, quote unquote, fucking 42% of GTM engineering roles have are less than a year like that in their role. Like it's a like quote unquote an entirely new thing. And so it's just interesting, 29%, 1 to 2 years, right? 4%, 4 years plus 4%. I don't even know if that's real. But I mean, yeah, dude. So like there are gonna be new roles coming out of this. And then what are they doing? It's like, dude, CRM, Salesforce or HubSpot, Clay, Cursor, Zoom Info, scraping tools like Buster, Apify, N8N. We talked about that. Intense Signals like 6sense, homemade scraping tools, Zapier, Tableau, Looker. Like that's dashboarding. This is just sales and marketing shit. Like, it's just, well, it's a new job. Like, focus on the same outcomes and problems you're trying to solve, but like we got to do it. And I think this is like a little microcosm of what's going to happen on software engineering or AI shit, right? Like it's in the world of perfect execution, like you got to find a way to differentiate yourself. And this is where you differentiate on GTM, in my opinion. And the number one complaint about all these tools is like how complex they are and how locked in they are, and they don't talk to each other. It's like, oh, we have data silos still in the age of AI. It doesn't just automatically work. So I don't know, man. It's just, don't believe the hype, man. It's just focus on solving real problems, and I think you'll be good.
You know what it me of the unicorn story. It's the DevOps book.
It's such a good, yeah.
It reminds me of DevOps. So before the word like the
unicorn project.
Yeah, so it's unicorn, but before like the role of DevOps existed, you were just like an infrastructure engineer. Like you worked in like IT or whatever
system admin, right?
Was system admin. But then DevOps came, and now I'm a DevOps engineer.
Yes.
So very similar to like I think what we're saying.
Agile, not waterfall anymore.
Yeah, but like what GTM is, it's like, okay, you're taking everything that we have been doing in sales and marketing, and so now I'm in GTM. I'm not. So now I'm previously, you were in infrastructure or you were sysops. Now I'm a DevOps.
Yep. Yeah. Like, oh, now I have tools that I can build things with. I'm an engineer.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't go-to-market last night, and today I'm in go-to-market engineer because I use Claude Code. It's like,
yeah.
Okay. What are you trying to do? Oh, we're trying to drive more customer acquisition, lead nurturing, reduce churn, and grow our top line. Oh, okay. It's like,
yes.
So you're still trying to sell shit? All right, this is cool. Still trying to get customers? It's not auto magic all of a sudden? Oh, okay. All right, cool. Good talk.
Yeah. But the same thing, like, what are you doing? I'm managing systems. Like I'm a DevOps engineer.
Yeah. So not... Yeah, 100%. I love that call out, that analogy, the parallels you drew, because the problems just keep shifting, right? Like DevOps solved a lot of problems, but guess what? Customers are still complaining about Kubernetes. Like it's really complex to manage. It updates every 3 months. It's fucking expensive. Like we didn't fix all the problems by implementing DevOps and then containerization. Like there's still problems. Anyways, it's just like, there will always be problems. We're humans. We're flawed beings. We do dumb shit. And so just automating dumb stuff is not going to fix it. So.
Yeah. And I think it goes to show like you mentioned, like the jobs may not go away. It just may be new ones. Cause like, I think of like SREs and SAs 15 years ago.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like, was there a site reliability engineer, or there was, but they weren't considered SRE?
It's just like,
yeah.
It's the solution has gotten so complex. We need a new role to manage the fucking new solution that's better than the old solution.
Yes.
With people managing that.
Yeah. So,
to your point, not to say there isn't value there, right? Because I think the whole thing there is velocity and the whole SR. So for those that don't know, like reliability manager or engineer is really common in SaaS companies because it's so much infrastructure and there's so many services and just managing that and constantly being updates and all the kind of quota limits and all these things because you're in a managed environment. But you can argue totally 100%, software is shipped faster. There's more SaaS products, right? So we've gotten GDP and productivity on that side. And it's like of a ratio of FTEs to output of what you're doing has gone up, but there's still a problem. Like just because you build a better car doesn't mean you don't have to take it to the shop to do maintenance. Like, right? Like, so you don't just build the best car ever and then you're done. And then the whole, like, the industry just stops. It's like, oh, reach pinnacle car. We don't need maintenance. Like, it just doesn't work that way, man. Fucking entropy, baby. Shit, everything breaks eventually.
Yep.
So, anyways, all right. Well, we can leave it on maybe a higher note than that. Anything you're looking forward to this weekend? Personal, business, otherwise.
Personally,
Sleeping in.
I never get a sleep in. That does not exist.
Why don't you sleep in? What do you like? What happens on the weekends?
I have animals that I take care of. So outside,
Like goats,
cats.
How many-
I have like
Dude,
animals and cats.
cats can take care of themselves.
Well, I have them on feeding schedules, so they're very unique. And then my dog, she like is on a set schedule. So by like 6:30, if I'm not like active and we're not
Oh my
walking,
goodness.
like running around the house. So she like,
Why do you do this to yourself, dude? I like on the weekdays, yeah, I wake up at 6, but on the weekends, I can usually sleep until like 7-ish. So 7 and change.
yeah, no, it's good though. I mean, I'll usually, depending on what the weekend has, there may be maybe be a nap snuck in there once in a while. Sometimes it's just like, once you're up, it's just go time.
Yeah, that's real. I always look forward to my coffee and the Wall Street Journal on Saturday because I get the weekend edition. And so, and then I think we have one thing planned after church on Sunday so that I go take some pictures of scout stuff, but that's just down the street. So it'll be good. Hopefully I'll get more done this week than last week on our stuff. But I figure out what I'm going to do tonight. I have brine some pastrami, so I take picanha and I do the brine. I may have told you about that before. It is so good. It's crazy how expensive beef is because of the cattle shortage. It's so awful, but it is so good, and it still blows my mind. You can make pastrami in your house. You just need curing salt, and so I'll throw that on the Traeger like tonight or tomorrow, and then we'll have pastrami sandwiches. And we have like a spicy coleslaw that goes on it. I just got to grab some rye bread, so I'm super excited about that.
So I was gonna say your rye bread and your sauerkraut,
Yeah. So
go to town. And then,
I'll just put kimchi on it. That'd be like a mix up. Like I love kimchi. Yeah.
the fusion.
Yeah.
That-
It doesn't sound bad, dude. I bet that would be freaking delicious, actually.
Yeah, I might have to try that. You can take that and then watch the CrossFit Games documentary for 2025 just was released. You can get on Apple. Small plug there. But you
Was
can
it good?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and it just recaps last season, and I would say purchase it. I think it's like $15 or whatever, but yeah, worth a watch. And you guys can just turn it on and introduce your kids to CrossFit, and maybe have a CrossFit athlete in 5 years.
There you go. Yeah. Peak puberty, man. Like we're doing planks and core work, and like I'm just trying to shore up all the hips, the glutes, like the areas that eventually start hurting and the shoulders. And so like to get this foundation in early. Yeah. So we'll see what happens there, but thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next week.